it took them 5 days to shut down something they thought they could shut down in a day is a testament to that revolutionary spirit.
And so there was this sense of pride that we had taken a stand and that we had sent a message out to the world.
It's a small step for a man, but it's a giant leap for all mankind now.
Newspapers in Europe and other parts of the world carried the story, carried these images. And so, in a sense, it unmasked this country, showed this country for what it really was.
Prior to the 1960s, race riots, as they existed, were really riots of white people marauding through neighborhoods where blacks were living and attacking blacks. The riots of the 60s, Detroit, Chicago, New York, LA, these riots are completely different because they are really manifestations of black anger, black hostility. And that's very new. What distinguished Watts from the riots in Chicago and Detroit is that nobody thought it could happen here.
The whole environment of LA was supposed to be so much nicer than other parts of the country, but yet that image of LA that's in the public mind had nothing to do with the large numbers of black people living here in segregated conditions.
The other thing that the rebellion represented for us was it helped accelerate our consciousness from 65 until about 71. Gang activity in LA was at an all-time low because so many young people were joining organizations like the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, like the Panther Party.
People keep on learning.
This growing Black Pride movement saw the development of dynamic African-American organizations committed to instigating change from within.
Keep on turning, 'cause it won't be too long.
Former street fighters like Kumasi, Bird, and Ron now fought the power rather than other gangs, working alongside groups like the Black Panthers on civic programs that ranged from free breakfasts to neighborhood restoration to political activism.
Believers, keep on believing.
All them youngsters were busy trying to rebuild their communities, trying to build a future, trying to figure out where the fuck do we go from here together, and how do we give ourselves some kind of a future.
Gonna keep on trying till I reach my highest ground.
But this new Black Power structure quickly found itself in the crosshairs of government agencies like the FBI. According to recently declassified documents, FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover launched a covert counterintelligence operation against the Black Panthers, an organization he described as the greatest threat to the internal security of the country.
Keep on lying.
They turned around and squashed those movements.
For the people. Keep on lying.
Former Slauson and Panther chapter founder Al Prentice Bunchy Carter and John Huggins were gunned down at a UCLA Black student meeting, while Black Panther founders Huey Newton and Bobby Seale faced arrest and lengthy jail sentences. Within a few short years, many of America's most influential, iconic Black leaders had either been incarcerated or assassinated.
They ran them down, they chased them down, they hunted them down, they murdered everybody that they could and made everybody else either go to exile or they locked them up in the penitentiary. And when all that was over with, a new element rose up called the Crips. You see? And the shit started again. The original Crips came out of our neighborhood. They were the children we passed by every day and paid no attention to, but they watched us. We had the generation our parents came from, and we had the great personalities of their generation to connect with. We had something to attach ourselves to. They didn't. They were born in a state of suspended animation. They were totally disconnected and disenfranchised. They're like a planet out of orbit.